Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time, back with Adrian Hernandez. How you doing, buddy?
Happy Wednesday, everybody. Let's go. I'm excited.
Hey, awesome, man. Thanks again for doing this. What people don't know, you are my mindset guru, the person I go to get my mindset right, because I have my bad days as well. So I appreciate you for that. We're going to talk about that in this video. And I really think people need to audit their mindset for the next 2 years. And audit your network. It's funny. One sec. Rule number 7 is on this because of you. Audit your personal network. Are they helping or hurting you?
So good.
And that was added because of our conversations over the years. Because again, folks, the headlines are going to be bad. I'm already calling July 20th to be an earthquake for National Association Realtors June numbers. It's going to be bad. And the problem is, how do you look at bad? Is bad going to weigh you down and cause you to do nothing? Or is bad going to get you excited, make you flex your toughness muscle, and help you learn to be more creative? If people follow my channel, they know I am of the ilk of mind hacks. So every time I see a negative headline, I say, there goes 2% of my competition. And then more importantly, I'm investing in myself. I realize that I built a nice portfolio kind of one way, really 2 ways, right? On the MLS, seller financing. Well, we're entering an environment where I want to do more. I have a stack of cash that I'd like to deploy incrementally, and I want to own a lot more coming out of this than I did going in. And that's going to be creative financing and just flexing that muscle. So let's talk about the importance of watching your mindset, because I think you have to audit it, whether it's nightly in a journal or something. It is going to get bad. I think real estate's going to be blamed for the nasty recession. I think it's going to be that bad. So what do you got?
Yeah. And I think unless you take a hold of your mind, your mind will be in a recession. But I want you guys to really go back and listen to what Zuber said at the beginning of this call. And I want you to pay attention to Michael's thought process here. He hears a negative news line and gets excited about what's going to happen. A lot of you hear a negative news line and get fearful for what could happen. And we have to change the perspective. Mindset, I believe, is nothing more than a perspective. How are we looking at any situation at one given time, right? And one thing I do know is nothing is anything until you say it is. This is what I mean by that. Why was Ali the greatest of all time?
Well, he believed it. Clearly, he was saying it years before it became true.
Years before. He wasn't even a professional boxer yet. And he was talking about he was the greatest of all time, the greatest that ever lived. Ali had that in his mind.
Yeah.
And he died, and everybody knows him as the greatest of all time.
No question.
So you guys, unless you decide, unless you in your mind tell yourself who you are, what you're going to be, what you're going to do in this world, it's going to be left up to chance. It's going to be left up to, I believe, to everybody else. All you're going to do is get the leftovers from everybody else who was specific about what they wanted. Yeah. So unless you are specific, you're just going to get the leftovers from me and Michael, who were specific. So you guys, I want you to understand that unless you decide that you are going to become wealthy in this next turn, in this market turn, it's not going to happen. And it's real easy. All it is you just telling yourself every single morning, every single day, every time you get in your head that I am going to win. I am going to win. I am going to buy a ridiculous amount of not just good deals, but great deals during this time. I am not just going to find deals, but people are going to practically give me their houses for free. That's what's going to happen. And I'm going to buy hundreds of them. And when I do that, I'm going to come out so much stronger, so much better. And I can't wait for this to happen. If we can have that mindset, guys, what you start to do is you start to put off an energy, and that energy starts to bring things back to you. You guys hear about the law of attraction, right? I don't have a magnet with me, but a magnet, if you put a magnet next to a metal object, that magnet will attach to that metal object. Yes or no?
Yes.
Can you see the energy between the magnet and the metal object?
No.
No, it's invincible, but yet it exists. It's there, but we can't see it, but it exists. That's the same thing with your thoughts. That's the same thing with the energy you put out. You may not want to believe it, but it's real and it's being attracted to that metal. That magnet is real and it will hit that metal source. And it's the same thing with you. So don't think that, oh, this is like some guru. I don't know what you're talking about, Adrian. This is all mine. No, you guys, you have to understand that's the exact reason why you're not where you want to be, is because of that. And I'm going to call it, I'm going to just say it the way it is, that bullshit tape that you have running. I hear people say, I can't live in California. It's too expensive. Who's to say that? You're the only one that can determine that. Or here's a good one. And I love Zuber because he like defied this mindset. I can't buy rentals in California. It's too expensive. I know a gentleman who bought hundreds.
Yeah.
And didn't start off in real estate.
No.
What's the difference between somebody who thinks they can and someone who thinks they can't? It's just the fact that they tell themselves that it's possible or not.
Yeah, I never allowed myself to think it wasn't possible. It was, I am unique. Again, this is a superpower I didn't know I had until after I got there. But the ability to focus and just daily execute is a God-given gift that, I mean, 1,000 days in a row of the daily financial news. I've looked at my market every day for 20 years, maybe except 20 days. It is right out there in front of you. And the biggest thing I could tell you is the first 5 years of my investing career, I tried to do everything behind a computer screen or a phone. I admit in my first book, one of the biggest mistakes I made was not networking more. It's on this freaking chart for a reason. Number 3, grow your network. Meet 2 new people a week. Folks, get around positive people, right? I would tell you to take rule number 3 and rule number 7 and merge them together. If you get around people in your network that are negative, that are only talking about the negative news, oh my God, did you see National Association of Realtors? We're down 30% in transactions. And that's all they want to talk about. Run away. You don't need help thinking about negativity. If you get around somebody that says, wow, did you see the 30% crash in transaction? Let's go look at days on market over 30 days and see if we can get a deal. I am marketing housing crash coming. I'm not afraid. If that works, I'm spending thousands of dollars marketing to housing crash, trying to get seller financing.
So good.
Lock in your profit, maintain consistent income, lower your taxes, less headaches. And oh, by the way, the most important line on here, we're still buying.
So good.
Every day, every 3 weeks, this card's going out to a list of people with 60% equity. Why? Because I want to give them their price and I want to get my terms. And
that mindset, how many properties do you guys think Zuber will buy just off of that one mindset right there?
Oh,
I guarantee it. It's going to happen.
Oh yeah.
I get it. It's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when. So for all of us guys, we have to buy into a different mindset. We have to change the tape that is running in our mind. We all have a tape that's playing. And I want to encourage you to get that tape, scratch it up, and put a new tape in there. We got to mix up those thoughts that we're having. And then you have to watch the people you hang around, like Zuber just said.
Absolutely.
I will walk away from any conversation that does not serve my mind. And the moment that somebody is negative, I let them know, hey, I don't make them wrong.
No.
I appreciate your perspective. It was great hanging with you. I got to go. Hope you have a great day. And right. I'm out.
No, dude, rule number 7 is the one that not enough. Again, it's the last rule. Maybe people don't get this far, but other than like number 1, which is focus, which I think it all starts there. Rule number 7 is how do you stay in the game for 20 years? Rule number 7.
Yep.
My personal network has probably evolved, changed, tweaked 4 different times. And I promise you this, in the next 8 months, it'll change again. Because not everybody gets it. I have been through the greatest crash in values that likely I will see in my adult life, 75%. I believe the crash in transactions that is about to occur will be larger than the last one and force me to think different. The next 2 years will be about creative investing, which I am not good at today. So I'm going to figure it out. I'm coming to your event in early August. Ty has created some bonus content. You and I are talking mindset all the time. I'm sending postcards for the first time. I'm giving it a shot, man. And I'm taking my entire audience with me. Let's see what happens.
So good. So good. It's all the perspective, guys. Let's change the perspective in this changing market so you can change your net worth.